Hey there, and welcome to the developer stream of BattleJuice Alchemist. I'm Alain, the developer of BattleJuice Alchemist, and without further ado, let's hop right into the game. I will continue a game here that's not with this character, but with this one. And why am I doing that? Actually, because I want you to see the game itself, like how quests and how the normal gameplay is, and I don't want you to see me starting in the tutorial level. So this is why I started with that character. And yeah, you are not seeing the cool cutscene that's usually here at the beginning, but you will get that if you play the game itself. So yeah, here we go. So this area is the one where the tutorial level ends. If I look at the map, this is everything we cleared and did, and yeah, and so on. And oh, where do I have to go? I have to rotate my camera first to be in the correct rotation. Actually, let's fight this guy. It's the last boss of the tutorial level, and I didn't plan that, but hey, let's fight him. This is what you see here is the close combat in BattleJuice Alchemist. So there are two different types, close and range combat, and in this one here, in the close one, we duke out the fights with the enemies in, yeah, as I said already, close combat. I'll pummel this guy with some freeze flasks, and I will explain a bit later how all of that works. So you can watch me here giving my best and killing this guy with explosions. Okay, so what was I saying before this guy attacked me? Actually, it's there's another one. There's close combat and range combat. What you saw was the close one. This is what I'm doing now is range combat. This is another enemy at the end of the tutorial level, which I didn't plan. I just wanted to go to the end, but hey, he's there. Okay, I find him. What I do here is use my explosive flask and throw it at him. And you can see already that BattleJuice Alchemist actually has quite a lot of kiting. You're not a guy like who wears armor and swings a sword. You're an alchemist, and you're running away and going fast. And I'm doing that now, but now he's running away because I damaged him so much. And also a very cool thing you can see, in my opinion, here is that you can set the environment on fire. That's a pretty neat thing. And so the guy we saw there was actually killed by the flames, by the burning bushes, I think, or it was a burning tree, I didn't see. Yeah, and so now we are actually where I really wanted to start this session. But anyway, you got some goodies there. This is the end of the tutorial level, and we will travel now to an area called Caribou Valley. Everything else is locked for now, and this is the mountain pass, the tutorial level that we just finished, and we'll travel to Caribou Valley now. And as you could see, we left the area in the east. Is that correct? Yes, in the east. So we are now entering this area in the west, and you can see nothing is discovered here, but this will change as yeah, when we continue playing a bit. I can see that Caribou Creek, the town we have to go, is in the southwest. And what do I want to show? Yeah, we have a quest log here, and it says in the mountain pass we did everything there. That was the tutorial, and now we're in Caribou Valley, and it tells us follow Zen's call. Zen is the character that talked to us via messages in the tutorial level. Follow her call to Caribou Creek, and yeah, that's the settlement in Caribou Valley. I will do that. I will go there, and maybe I will encounter some enemies. For example, up here, I can see in my minimap that there's a purple guy that I want to fight. I'm using my explosive flask here to kill him off, if I can. Huh. Oh yeah, I already damaged him quite a bit, and that should do the trick. And he dropped some cool stuff. So, and there we are already at the core of BattleJuice Alchemist. It's a game about loot. It's a lot like Diablo. or other action RPGs. And what he dropped was a cauldron, and I can equip that in my cauldron slot. And you can see here that I now have this cool cauldron strapped to my back, and I won't fall into the trap again, which I did earlier, like rotating the camera and being disoriented where I was. So I will rotate the camera to the default, which is to the north, and then it will be easier to me to orient. But I could rotate the camera around as much as I want. So we go further to the south, and there we will arrive in Caribou Creek, which is our hub, our quest hub. So where's the entry? It's here. It's protected by pentagrams. And I could explore a little bit here. There are not too many characters. The town was left. There's a demon incursion happening, and our uncle actually blew up the town. And I will talk to this character with the wolf's head, but actually it's not a wolf head. It's not a head. It's a head. And I will read the description for you. You see, so it's Zen, that's her name. You see the shaman you know from your uncle Alain's stories. She is much younger than you expected her to be. Zen wears a wolf skin, and the skull of a giant bird guards her shoulder. A lasso dangles from her shoulder, a ritual dagger and a flask from her belt. Where once her left hand must have been, there is now only a stump. I could now go shopping, and but I won't dive into that right now. I could get some flasks from her, or maybe some materials, but this is for a bit later. First we will talk and do a little bit of questing, and I'm saying greetings, so this is our dialogue menu. I'm saying greetings, and she says, "Welcome to Caribou Creek. Thank you for responding to my call. It may not be much, but we did our best to rebuild our town after your uncle's laboratory exploded. I'm truly sorry. Alain was family to me as well. Caribou Creek is in dire need of an alchemist now that evil spirits roam the realm." So we ask her, spirits? She answers, something has weakened the barrier between our realm and the crossroads, which is the spiritual reflection of our world. Now the barrier is weak. Evil spirits pour into the crossroads, and from there possess humans and animals alike. Luckily, spirits are bound to their hosts' bodies and cannot cross the pentagram protecting our town. So we ask her, what about fighting? Before you can venture back out into the wilderness, I must be sure you can defend yourself. Maybe I can teach you some tricks your Uncle Alain invented as an alchemist. When he was still alive, we used to have sparring sessions. So we ask her, sparring? Let us have a little sparring fight. Evade one of my melee attacks with a frog-hop flask and a ranged attack with a smoke flask. So I go into my inventory and I have some of them from the tutorial level, which you didn't see me play actually. But I have the frog-hop flask here to evade melee attacks, and the smoke flask to evade ranged attacks. I will unequip my other flasks here for now, and I can go back to the selection and select fight. So in BattleJuice Alchemist, not all of them, but some NPCs you can fight, and now that Zen asked us to fight her in a sparring fight, there's this button and we can fight her. So this is again the close combat, as you saw me fighting this pumpkin guy, and yeah, this is like heads on, you fighting one other character. And what's also really cool here is that you can do evasive maneuvers a lot better than in ranged combat, where you see everything from top down. So she asked us to use the black flask, the smoke flask, to evade one of her ranged attacks, and the yellow one to evade melee attack. And I'm doing that now. You see, she attacked me. I evaded that, and I can see which type of attack she will do by looking at her. This is a ranged attack, and I will evade that with the smoke flask, and so I completed the quest. I evaded a melee and a ranged attack. So she's happy, and she says, take this juice flasks. It provides a special alchemical effect and may be of better use to you than me. This was a nice sparring fight. Now I have great faith that you will be able to continue your uncle's work and hunt down evil spirits. Maybe one of those inside a cultist carries a clue to why they pour into the crossroads. Okay, so we can take a look at the item she gave us. It should be this juice flask of Yonder, and that's a very special juice flask because it doesn't have like simple bony like this one. It does 1 more damage. Actually, I should use this one, right? Yeah, it's better. This one does plus 1 damage, and this one here only gives me a little bit more liquid. I prefer that actually, so I swapped them out in classic action RPG fashion. And the flask she gave me is a very special one. It doesn't have simple bonus, but a game-changing effect. And this is all thrown flasks do between minus 25% damage to very close and plus 25% to very far enemies. And that's actually pretty cool. So if you play a ranger, you do more damage, and if you're more in close combat, you do less damage. And actually, I think I want to do that because I like kiting and running around and being in ranged combat. So I equip this flask. And I will also equip a freeze flask here because I like it. Do I want something else? Yeah, maybe I want to show you some jumping around with a frog hop flask. So we head out. We can look at our quest log again, and she said hunt down cultists. And yeah, that's what we will do. Maybe this is the time where I can explain to you a little bit about the basic mechanics, but I will do this very briefly. These are the 2 fixed flasks. You can see them down here. So you always have that. If I use an explosive flask, boom, it refills, and it's right away it's available again. So these are my fixed flasks. It's my explosive flask and my mana flask. It's not mana, but it's called liquid in BattleJuice Alchemist. And these 10 here, I only have 4 of 10 at the moment. They get drawn randomly to these 3 slots. So you can see that there's no health flask down here, although there is one here, because it wasn't drawn. If I redraw my complete hand, you can see that, okay, this was accidentally I drew exactly the same hand. I will try it again. And here you can see now I have a health flask. And it will always be that way, that I draw randomly. If I had 10 different flasks, I could even draw more different ones. And this is where deck building becomes important. Yeah, I will have a look where I can find one of these cultists she was talking about, and she actually said they are marked. It said in the quest log that they are marked purple on the map. These guys are cultists, they are purple, and I will try to kill them. I want to show you like one attack I can do with my frog hop flask. I can jump in and do damage while doing so, and I will do that and will jump right here. And this actually damaged them quite a bit and angered them. I think they're trying to kill me now. I would, but if I can't kill them first with my explosive flasks. Now things get complicated. Doing my best here to do some damage. Kiting this guy over there. Now my health is really low. I drank a health flask, a health potion. This could become really difficult. Now I can do some sprinting. Oh, my juice is not full. I have to try and run away, heal myself, get some more life and resources back, and try and kill. Oh. Okay, we're doing some kind of dance here. Have to be really careful now, because I really need a health flask. I got one. Drinking that, and try to kill off this guy. Okay, and we set the bush on fire. We can use that, this circle here. There's damage. Their damage is dealt, and I could use that to hurt enemies. But actually, who we wanted, I have to rotate the camera correctly again. Yeah, that. I wanted to kill that cultist guy, but he ran away because he was badly injured. Is he there? Yeah, he's almost dead. I will kill him off. Boom. Oh, didn't I? Didn't I kill him? Okay, now he's dead. So again, set things on fire. Too late to utilize that, but I have to be sure to not run into that. You can see that. I just made him walk into it, and he got a little bit of damage. So you can use your environment to your advantage. Quite good. Oopsala. So we kite a bit, run away, and kill this guy as well. Doing good. I show you another flask I haven't used yet. It's the ice flask. Boom. He's frozen, gets really slow. Kiting becomes easier. And I can take my time now and try my best to kill him off. Now he's had enough, but I won't let him get away. He dragged me to close combat and we can finish him off. There. Boom. Done. Cool. We got a cool item. What was that? It was actually a blueprint for crafting. Blueprint for a magic frog hop flask, so we could craft this one here in the magic version, which is quite cool. I will read it, study it, and it gets added to my workbench. Maybe I can show you that later. And what I also have here is the illegible scripture. This is a quest item that the cultist dropped, and we will return that to Caribou Creek and talk to Zen about it. Actually, I don't have to walk. I can use my town portal. Whoop. And we're back, and there's Zen, and I will have a chat with her, see what she has to say. So we talk to her, and now there's this new option, illegible scripture. So we ask her illegible scripture, and she says, "You say you found this on a possessed cultist? Interesting. Before we can continue, I must be sure you know how to cast magic rituals." So I ask her first ritual. Go to any fireplace here in Caribou Creek, burn 2 of the logs of wood which you can find in your chest, then speak the ritual's mantra. It consists of 4 runes. The first looks like a crate, the second like a simple pillar, the third looks like the first, and the fourth like the second. You can already see BattleJuice Alchemist has quite some riddles and stuff, and we have to figure this one out, and we'll try our best. We can always look into our quest log to read it again and yeah, help ourselves a bit out here. She said, take the 10 logs, or take the logs from the chest. Now we have that, and we can go to any fire in Caribou Creek here. We could go to this one, whoop, to this one, and just drag in our wood. And she said to burn 2, so I'm doing that. And then I got this, yeah, it's a bit like, it's like a telephone, and I could say just these mantras here. I would, if I just say anything, boop, 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 nothing happens. That was wrong. This is, I have to solve the riddle she gave me. It's actually a pretty easy one. Again, I burn 2 of the logs, and she said the first symbol, the first rune of the mantra looks like a crate, so it's this one, and the second one like a pillar, it's this one, and then that the third one looks like the first one, so it's the crate again, and that the last one looks like the second one, so it's the pillar again. So I successfully cast the ritual, and this is called Divine Tinder. It's now in my ritual cast list. Also here the reminder how you cast it with the logs and the mantra. And what it actually does, you can see down in the bottom right of the screen. You can see that Divine Tinder is now active. And this is like a buff. You can always buff yourself by learning, by questing and learning more rituals. And this one actually what it does is it doubles the amount of gold you find, so we can do that for some gold farming. Cool. I will go out and make some use of that, I think. I wanted to show you a bit more of the freeze flask and what cool things we can do. Maybe I can even equip another one to show you more effects. Yeah, let's do that. Go out. You can see these spikes. I can use these to kite enemies in there. There's a porcupine. I will try to fight with it a little bit. Freeze it first, so it's slower, it's easier to kite. As I said, I like the ranged combat options quite a bit. So I'm now throwing an explosive flask at this guy. Freeze it again, makes it easier. Do some sprinting. Oh, I can't, my juice is not full. Boom. Oh, it's a tough guy. Oh yeah, he's quite tough. Okay, I will utilize this thing here. I made myself invisible for a second, and now I kite this guy to the barrel. Make the barrel explode. Boom. Ah, he was dead already. But you saw it said Divine Tinder, because I got more money because of Divine Tinder. Oh, there's a cultist coming. Try my best and try some freezing here. We can also do some frost burning like this. Boom. was quite cool. I used also the other barrel that was over there, was destroyed by my ice damage, and the guy was killed off by the freeze effect. Yeah. So up here, I can see it already on the map. Here's a cool altar. But that's something for later. I won't bother explaining it to you. It's just a place of importance later on. It's an altar. And yeah, I think I'll try to kill another porcupine there. It's over there. And I use my explosive flask as an opener. I could also use, for example, what can I do? I can use my mobility like this, jump over him, get some range there, explosive flask, boom, done, divine tinder, and we got quite a few things here. We already have now some materials and stuff, and yeah, pretty cool. We got a new cauldron as well, plus 17 health. This one only has plus 12 health, so I guess I take this one. Boop. And maybe now we could return and do another quest. Maybe go to another quest giver. That's Danielle. Let's talk to her. I won't read you the description this time. She's this cool African-American lady with dreadlocks and stuff, and she guards the town. And what she says is, wow, a new face in Caribou Creek? That's something. I'm Danielle. Glad to meet you. You are some kind of relative of Alain's, right? Here to make amends. I'm just messing with you. Thanks for fighting your way here through the possessed. I'm sure it wasn't easy. So we ask her about Alain. And she says, yeah, Alain messed up and blew up this town, but you can't blame him in my eyes. It was an accident, and if it hadn't been for him, people here would have been killed by some Northlings with giant axes years ago. He did all this science stuff to protect the people close to him, and did a great job. Until the explosion, that is. And we ask her about protection. Alain had a close friend. His name was Plato, a strange creature that Alain brought back from one of his expeditions to the frozen tundra of the north. At least this is what he told people. To me, Plato looked as if Alain had Frankensteined him together himself. Plato disappeared after Alain's death. You should find him. We can use every helping hand, or flipper for that matter. So we ask her, finding Plato. How do we find Plato? You should find Plato. I think we can get him to come out by making this a more cozy place for him. Take this freeze flask, find the source of the Caribou River that runs through our town, and throw a freeze flask there. This should cool the river for a while, which might lure Plato back. Cool, we got a new quest. We can always look it up in our quest logs. Down here, it's a new quest. Carry on, Wayward Son. It's our new quest that we can do now. And actually what she says is, find the source of the Caribou River, the river running through Caribou Creek. I would assume that if I look here, this is Caribou Creek, that either this is the source, or that. I'm not lying here. I mean, it's my game, but it's a procedurally generated map, so I'm not 100% sure. I have to look at these. Have to take a look at these rock formations here, and see if that's the source. But it looks like the river disappears under the rocks and comes out here again. So it's actually making this big loop, and I don't want to bother with all these enemies over there. So I'm sprinting because I want to finish the quest now. And yeah, so we will try and find the source. That's the source over here, and I want to freeze this one. And I'm unequipping a few flasks here, so I definitely get the one I want for now. So I have the freeze flask down here, and I'm using it to freeze this source. Boom, and it says, yes, quest completed. So we go back into, actually, yeah, as you can see here, you can freeze these rivers and then walk on their surface, and I'm not using the mouse right now, you're sliding in there. You can move a bit faster, but you also slide and have a little bit less control. It's a pretty cool thing, I guess. And so we go back to into Caribou Creek here, and we got a new dialogue option from Danielle. And I actually don't want to talk to her right now. What I want to do is show you, hey, there's this new creature, this new character, and it's Plato. He's asleep. He's a platypus, I think yes. And he will be our companion later on. We can talk to him, but he's actually peacefully snoring and asleep. And we will, in the following quest, we will wake him up and he will follow us around and be our companion. But I am not doing that. I could also do some crafting here, maybe to craft another flask I could show you. For example, what's quite cool is this shell flask here, and we can use that. Oops, I was a bit quick here. I crafted this shell flask. For example, we can use that one to, I will zoom in here. If I use it, boom, I encapsulate myself with this shell and get protected. Yeah, it's something we could do. We can also use it to be more, to have thorns. Like if I juicify this flask, I do damage to the creatures that attack me. They get their damage back. So that's also for another build. And yeah, let's try something out here. One last thing maybe I could show you is a cool effect. That's the black hole effect. I can pull in enemies with that. It's the special effect of the juice of the smoke flask. Let's try that. I'm doing that, and I pulled in all those guys, and now I can more easily throw explosive flasks at them. Actually, I think I kind of messed up my build here, kind of, because I equipped just any flask I could get my fingers on. Hopefully I can at least finish off this guy. If I get into a situation that gets hairy, I can always go into close combat. It's a bit easier here because we can duke it out here. You can see the other enemies are like grayed out, you can say, because this is one-on-one now, and we can do some you can do damage easier here. So I throw some explosive flasks, and this guy, he buffs himself to be protected, and I'm using the turtle, the shell flasks. You can see now I have the spikes, and if he now hurts himself by attacking me, which is pretty neat. And I killed him off with an explosive flask. And you can see, for example, we could kite this guy into the burning bush, keep it burning, and kite him into that. And actually I'm making a little bit too less use of the sprinting mechanic, like the dashing move. It's also pretty cool. Well, I think that's that for now. I think we did. I showed you quite a few things of the game. Of course, it's by far not everything you can do, but I think you got an impression what the game is about. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I see you guys next time. Bye.